Let's get it. It's an absolutely gorgeous day out here in Charlotte today, here in the Carolinas. It's not as hot, which I somewhat like. It's gonna be a good sweating day, I know that though. I do hope everyone is well, as we always like to put in there. Cause that is the truth. Because I know what it means not to be well. And to be in a place like Yahusha prophesied to Peter, where folks will lead you, and in my case, even carry you around. Now I know he was talking about Peter being led off to death, but I can still use that scenario. And once again, someone is in our comfortable spot. So we're gonna get back here in the cut, which I think is best anyway. It's more of our secret place than the other spot. Because even though I'm comfortable in the seating, there's distractions always going and coming. But all praises to the Most High for another glorious day. Oh boy! I might have to post that. Oh boy, I felt that. These seating seats are somewhat tricky on them corners. Oh boy, that hurt. But we're resilient. Like the old saying goes, roll with the punches and don't stop going. And something else I've learned in my past. There ain't no such a thing as being embarrassed when you come into the kingdom. Because we're in the world, but not of this world. And he says, come out of them and be separate. My goodness. Like I said, it's gonna be a sweating day today. It's already 90. Feel kind of mild today, cool. I guess because we have a little breeze going. Okay, now we do have a great thought. As always, that's why we're here. To share our thought and our routine, our workout. But more than anything else, we're here to show the image. The image of the man of the Most High. And I'm not saying that in pride, but I am a man of the Most High. And this is what the world needs, his image being shown. And actually not just the image, well per se, but seeing that image walked out daily. See, that's why the Most High be on me so much to get out here daily to do this recording. Because it's showing a consistent mentality, a consistent portrayal of the Most High's will in a man's life. That's a good way to put it, and that leads me right on into my thought. Thank you, Most High. And it is finding your lane. Finding your lane. And I'm gonna read over some my notes today. Ask yourself, how would I know if I'm in my Yah-given lane or God-given lane. Fruits, results. I have always tried to pattern my life after two men in the holy text, and that's Dawid or David and Yahushua, Jesus. These men produced big. David, for one, was said to have a heart after the Most High's own heart. That has always made me want to know, what kind of heart did that man have? I've come to the conclusion that it is the same as Yahushua, who said, "Thy will be done, not mine." You see, David always inquired of the Most High for his next move. We see Yahushua always stealing a way to go and do the same. Submission is the first key to finding your lane. Just as we read yesterday in John 10, 4 and 5, and when he putteth forth his own, sendeth out his own, he goeth before them, and the sheep follow him, for they know his voice. And I don't think I've put this idea in the recording, but I think I've shared the recording of the video. The Most High allowed me to see a mother duck leading her ducklings. This is when I first saw him, I think my first encounter with him. She was leading them around the water, and they were straight in line with her. Just going around, she was going zigzag on purpose, I believe, seeing if they're gonna follow. Then she got to there's a walkway in between the lake onto an island at the other part where you see me from time to time do my thought for the day and my exercise, my squats, my stretches and squats. So she was leading them over this little path from one side, out of one part of the lake into the other side of the lake. And what happened really amazed me when I saw this. She got right next to the border of the water, and the one that was right in her tail, right following her, jumped out and took the lead. He jumped out, walked a few steps, just enough so all his siblings could get past the mother and out of the water, and then he stopped. And then the mother came on around the rear and took the lead again. And the one that was leading followed right back on in line with mama. And that painted a very, a very profound image in my mind as how we're to follow the Most High, especially as leaders. Pardon me. And pardon me when I'm on this recording spitting. You know my story with the stroke, and I don't make excuses for the spitting because I know it's not proper while talking and doing the recording. But point is, I'm outside and I'm doing my exercise, I'm sweating, and plus I get the wet mouth and I have to get rid of it so I won't be slobbering, having a mouthful of spit and slobbering all over myself. Then it would look a whole lot worse than me just kindly turning the right hand spitting. Don't mind me sometimes, but do pay attention to what the Most High is saying to us, or I would ask you to. I don't like telling people what they should do. I like suggesting. Okay. But yeah, that painted a very profound picture to me as how we're to follow the Most High in submission, just as we said, because this is the main and the most important key to our walk with the Most High and being used by Him. Like I say, getting in our lane and finding our lane and sticking to it. Pardon me. Now I done thought about it. but I'm not going to feel guilty for spitting. And I'm going to read over that text again. And imagine this mama duckling leading her ducklings around that water. And going out of one, oh boy, going out of one set of circumstances, crossing a test, or crossing unfamiliar grounds and going into another set of waters or another level. And when he putteth forth his sheep, he goeth before them. Just like the mother duck, he sent them before. And we got one joker that took the lead. And that was it was so profound when I saw it, because that joker stood out of the water, and you know, he had pride with what he was doing. It was like he was imitating his mother so much that he did it with confidence. And that was so, I thought it was so amazing for the Most High to share that with me. Let me leave it like that and carry on. He goeth before them, and the sheep follow him, for they know his voice. And a stranger they will not follow, but will flee from him, for they know not the voice of strangers. Profound. Profound. There's not another duck that's gonna get them ducklings to get away from their mama duck, nor us following our Most High Abba, Yahuwah. And we must take note that as much as I inspire to a life as King David, Yahusha is the one. Just like I was saying yesterday, let me be the one. No, he's the one. The thing is, when you look behind, or should I say in front of David, there's Yahusha. Our text for today explains this idea so much better than my limited capacity to explain. And it is Colossians 2:9 and 10. For in Mashiach lives all the fullness of the Most High in human body. So you are complete through your union with Mashiach, or Christ, who is the head over every ruler and authority. See, that puts it in perspective. In order to, well, I'm getting ahead of myself. Now back to my original question. How would I know if I'm in my Yah-given lane? Yes, fruits and results, but going all the way to the foundation, there's what's called abiding. And that's step number 2, abiding. And abiding means to live, to dwell, continue without fading or being lost, accept or act in accordance with a rule, a decision, or a recommendation. Oh boy, what a thought for today. So I guess it would be fair to say, in order to find our Yah-given or Most High given lane, then we would need, and in order to bear fruit and results, we would need to follow 2 keys, I would say. And that's submission and then abiding. And those things are hard to do as men, as proud men, I should say. Those of us who have lived a life where we thought we didn't need the Most High. We thought we could do it on our own. And see, we see a lot of this in Israel today, and that's what in Yasharel today, and that's what I was talking about yesterday. We have too much pride and egos flying around willy-nilly. Oh boy, I can't believe I said willy-nilly. But it's true. Just too many folks wanting to be the one. Like I said yesterday, let me be the one you come running to. I forget the exact gist of that, but that was so heavy in my mind yesterday when we had that thought. Because everybody want that spotlight. They want to shine. And see, I've come to realize that doing what I'm doing is so important to stay consistent. Because I got a comment yesterday on my yesterday's recording from a brother T. And I got to put his name out there because he's consistently coming back and giving me progress on his workout, his goals, his plans. I think one time he told me he was doing 3 miles a day, and I'm like, oh boy, that's a good regimen there. 3 miles a day. That's like 15 miles a week, which a lot of us don't even put forth the effort to do a mile a day, or a half or a quarter mile a day. But then on yesterday, he came back and said that he was doing 6 miles a day. So he doubled his effort. And gave me some kind words of encouragement as far as me encouraging him. And don't you know that makes me feel so good to know that I am being used by my Abba Father to help my brother or my brothers and sisters to achieve their goals. And sometimes all it is looking up and seeing that somebody is there and they doing what they said they're gonna do. As far as I'm concerned, that's what motivates me, seeing the consistency of another individual saying, okay, I'm gonna get out here and do this. And then to come back and see them 3 or 4 weeks from now and they still doing what they said they was gonna do. See, this is fruit and results. But see, on my behalf, it takes me consistently getting up every day and saying, Abba Yah, I submit myself to you. Here I am. I present myself to you. How can I be used How can I be used by you today to further your kingdom? And notice I ain't say a whole lot of my, I said your. But this is what it's going to take in Israel, or Yasharel. But it's going to take more submitting to the Most High and abiding in Him and His path for our lives, or His lane, the lane that He set for us to walk in, for us to be more effective for the kingdom. Or should I say for us to be effective for the kingdom? Because a lot of us are ineffective. And we're causing divisions and strifes. And see, that's how you know when the individual is not really aligned with the Most High. Pardon me. And I say not really because you can know the word, you can speak the word, you can somewhat do the word. But if you're not totally abiding in the Most High and submitting to Him, you're on your own way. You in your own lane, and you's about to crash. Oh boy, let's get it. Yes, sir, indeed. And I wanted to show why I fell off that chair or bleachers. They're angled. So evidently somebody been sitting here. You can see it warped out. And warped out there with a little weight like myself. But I don't think they was caught falling on the recording. So I gotta add that to the recording. Well, I had to add it. So we got to be more careful. And we default, we just get on up and keep it moving. Like I said, thank the Most High wasn't hurt. So you gotta get yourself in front of the problem. And then sit down on it. I gotta show this. See, we were taught to sit down on the ball. And what that means, you put your tail down, and then you are able to go either direction, to the left, to the right, up, down, because you're basing it on your toes. So if the ball takes a hop and hits for your face, you can turn that glove up, or you can go down. Yeah, 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 yeah. And more than anything else, your chest is your backup. If you're down too far like this, and the ball takes a hop before you can get your glove up, you knock it down with your chest. And that's called getting in front of the ball and sitting down on it. And see, a lot of kids these days, well, I can't even say that because we were afraid to sit down on something that's coming at you 70, 80, 90, 100 miles per hour. But repetition is the key. That's full circle, huh? That consistency, abiding, yeah, you got it. Okay, let's get it. And I was just about to explain why I turned to the side like that when I'm over on this side doing the squats. And I don't know if we picked it up on cam, but you saw a fella walking by there. Some of them folks. So you have to be very careful about your surroundings these days. And I don't judge a fruit, I mean a tree, by its outward appearances, of course. But as a good friend of mine said, I don't trust nobody. So it makes no difference what the tree looks like. If I don't see fruit, I gotta judge it as if it's like all trees. that's not bearing fruit. Which the young man did speak. And probably because I throw out there just for mostly everybody. Unless I see you not giving me your eyes. And see, that's the first means of communication. Making that eye contact. That's how you search the eyes. Real quick. Like I said about that ball coming at you in a split second and you having to judge which way to go from there. We're gonna jump on this bike and Most High willing get us 5 or so miles in and finish strong for the day. Or should I say finish strong for the week. Okay, stay up, keep pushing forward in the right direction. Shalom. Let's get it. Nah, let's get it. Me sounding all punkish. Like I'm tired. But I don't feel no waste time, no. I come too far from where I started from. See, nobody told me that the road was gonna be easy. And I don't believe he brought me this far to leave me. I don't feel no waste time, no. I'm out of breath though. I come too far from where I started from. But nobody told me that the road was gonna be easy. And I don't believe he brought me this far. I don't believe he brought me this far. Said I don't believe he brought me this far to leave me. Yeah, you got to be more careful. A lot of times that what looks innocent is sent to get you. Or sent to try you. And see, you gotta know your lane. Yeah, it's just like I was speaking on my wife and me training her how to drive. And how folks would try to bogart their way into her lane abruptly, that is, disrespectfully. That's how the trials of life are. They're actually sent to knock you off your game. And the reference I also like to use, knock you off your spot.
We praying and we praying, trying to get right. All esteem to you who shine my light. Soul searching through the scripture, find my birthright. Vengeance is the Father, ain't gotta fight. Return to the corner, that's my plight. World full of darkness, I'ma glow light. 11:59, time to catch flight. We praying and we praying, trying to get right.
No time to play games, no Nintendo. I keep it real in the truth, no pretendo. You get the real thing, ain't no demo. We setting up shop in the ghetto. Pull a bruise out the slums, here we go. This that straight talk, no echo. We do law, statute commandments, hello. Got me strumming like a banjo. Got me sitting, I was once sitting low. Had to repent for them sins I once sold. Now cry a lot of spare, now I let it show. The rule I hit you, how you like, whoa. All in these scripts, all these verses I throw. It's straight narrow, and they ain't letting go. By my father biz, man, it's something you need to know. On with the word and my ammo. Jumping, stumbling blocks, ain't stubbing my toe.
We praying and we praying, trying to get right. All esteem to you who shine my light. Soul searching through the scripture, find my birthright. Vengeance is the Father, ain't gotta fight. Return to the corner, that's my plight. World full of darkness, I'ma glow light. 11:59, time to catch flight. We praying and we praying, trying to get right.
Trusting in the Father, everything I do. Been washed clean, I gotta stay true. Woolly hair rockin', I'm a Hebrew. Quam Yasharah, yeah, that my crew. Elevated couple levels, spiritually I done grew. Had to lead the world, I guess I'm acting brand new. Prayer line to the heaven, know you who'll get me through. Faith in the Mashiach, another breakthrough. True Umunah, man, ain't no miscue. Sold out to the Abba, to my people, Yahoo. Bible study poppin', all these scriptures run through. Psalms 19 and 9, the word and the truth. It's about salvation, the Father got our back, no matter what we facing. They can quit tracing, ain't no replacing. Go and find your hood, and it's so amazing. Fruits of the Spirit I'm embracing. All esteem to the Most I'm praising. Kahalal, my arms raising.
We praying and we praying, trying to get right. All esteem to you who shine my light. Soul searching through the scripture, find my birthright. Vengeance is the Father, ain't gotta fight. Return to the corner, that's my plight. World full of darkness, I'ma glow light. 11:59, time to catch flight. We praying and we praying, trying to get right. We praying and we praying, trying to get right. All esteem to you who shine my light. Soul searching through the scripture, find my birthright. Vengeance is the Father, ain't gotta fight. Return to the corner, that's my plight. World full of darkness, I'ma glow light. 11:59, time to catch flight. We praying and we praying, trying to get right.
No time to play games, no Nintendo. I keep it real in the truth, no pretendo. You get the real thing, ain't no demo. We setting up shop in the ghetto. Pull a bruise out the slums, here we go. This that straight talk, no echo. We do law, statute commandments, hello. Got me strumming like a banjo. Got me sitting, I was once sitting low. Had to repent for them sins I once sold. Now cry a lot of spare, now I let it show. The rule I hit you, how you like, whoa. All in these scripts, all these verses I throw. It's straight narrow, and they ain't letting go. By my father biz, man, it's something you need to know. On with the word and my ammo. Jumping, stumbling blocks, ain't stubbing my toe.
We praying and we praying, trying to get right. All esteem to you who will shine my light. Soul searching through the scripture, find my birthright. Vengeance is the Father, ain't gotta fight. Return to the country, that's my plan. World full of darkness, I'ma glow light. 11:59, time to catch flight. We praying and we praying, trying to get right.
Trusting in the Father, everything I do. Been washed clean, I gotta stay true. Woolly hair rocking, I'm a Hebrew. Quam Yasharah, yeah, that's my crew. Elevated couple levels, spiritually I done grew. Had to lead the world, I guess I'm acting brand new. Prayer line to the heaven, know your hood, get me through. Faith in the Mashiach, another breakthrough. True Umunah, man, ain't no miscue. Sold out to the Abba, to my people, Yahoo. Bible study poppin', all these scriptures run through. Psalms 19:9, the word and the truth. It's about salvation, the Father got our back, no matter what we facing. They can quit tracing, ain't no replacing. Go and find your hood, and it's so amazing. Fruits of the Spirit I'm embracing. All esteem to the Most High, I'm praising. Kahalal, my arms raising.
We praying and we praying, trying to get right. All esteem to you who shine my light. Soul searching through the scripture, find my birthright. Vengeance is the Father, ain't gotta fight. Return to the country, that's my plan. World full of darkness, I'ma glow light. 11:59, time to catch flight. We praying and we praying, trying to get right.
I was just thinking what a great honor it is to do what I'm doing. The Most High worked out all the circumstances, all the situations, so I can get out here and do what I need to do daily. 5 days a week. And this is my job. This is my work. This is my calling. This is my ministry. And even though the Most High pays me, I was paid a very high compliment on yesterday evening, this morning. And even though I say the Most High is my audience of one, and I mean that, it always feels grand when we get feedback like I got from my brother T, who's saying that he's not only putting in the work, but since the last time I talked to him, he's doubled his efforts. Or I said that wrong, he's doubled his efforts. So I wouldn't consider myself doubling my efforts. Maybe maintaining them, like our idea for today, submitting to the Most High and abiding in Him. There's a price to abiding. See, for one thing, you can't be quiet. You can't sit down on that word. You gotta open your mouth. And the next thing is, he said you can ask what you will. And see, if you're abiding in Him and them words, you're not gonna ask no willy-nilly type mess. Oh boy, that's the second time I used willy-nilly in one recording. And the first time I used it ever. Oh boy. I guess somebody listening that can identify with the willy-nilly type lifestyle. I know I can. And that lifestyle consisted of Getting up every day, getting out, selling dope, buying the weed man, buying my weed, or buying my dope, weed, got high, and then went chasing skirts. And that was pretty much it. And I felt the need to say, by no means do I glorify my prior lifestyle. Because I was a hellion or heathen. And I was on the wrong team. But see, and something the Most High reminded me of a few months ago is He has a plan. And it's up to us to get into His game plan. And getting in and staying in our lane.